Okay, my name is Joey Acker and welcome to Pulse TV. And this is a special edition of our one-on-one interview where we have one of the legends to ever grace the surface of Nigeria. One of the best we ever produced. He's synonymous with the name Fuji, one of the most stable and the biggest genre of African music that has gone global. His name is Kwam One, and he's the best in the field. Hello, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Thanks so much for the introduction.
Your work speaks for itself.
We're,
I'm really honored to be here.
We're grace God.
We're here because of what you've been doing recently. You have a new project coming up, Fuji the Sound. What is Fuji the Sound?
Fuji the Sound is a new direction. I'm trying to step up Fuji music. Fuji music and indigenous music that has lived with us for so long, and I would say sort of the only survivor of the indigenous music, so to say. And for what we've been doing over the years, to see that we bring the standard of that genre of music, I haven't presented it to the world attention. We want to bring it to be so classified as music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Fuji the Sound. How did you come about this idea? When did you know you were going into this project?
That has been my problem for some years back now. When we're looking at things, what we're seeing every day says a lot about the new generation of people, that are children, and we envisage if this can be happening right before us about our children, then what becomes of our children? So we do not want Fuji music to die with this radiation, and because of the new invention and new style the whole world is embracing. So we want to see that genre of music doesn't die with us, because we notice very many indigenous music dies naturally simply because we could not follow it up or do some replacement in such a way that a lot generation coming will know it as a standard music. And because also we see that our new generation of artists, we want to encourage them to know if what you are doing now, you can put in your very best to sort of document it. It will be an evergreen.
Forever. And talking about evergreen, Fuji has forever been evergreen. Why do you think it has lasted this long? And why do you think it lasted this long? Because Fuji came from forever. We can't even. Fuji is as old as
very old, very old, because of the foundation of the genre called Fuji. But the truth is, Fuji is preparing for the next level, very seriously.
Okay, and this is the next level.
That's the next level.
Okay, so let's talk about creation of Fuji the Sound. Who did you work with, sir?
I've worked with the best brain in the industry. One thing about me is I encourages both the old and the new to sit down to best see what we're talking about. A tree doesn't make a forest. You alone can't do it. You just have to share ideas. You exchange ideas with people that you believe they were doing it rightly too, in their own right, and not just doing it. They're doing it pretty well.
Okay, you worked with the producer Maestro.
Myself, Bankuli, Maestro, and very many others.
How was the recording process?
Oh, fantastic. Like I said earlier on, they're best brain, and good you do something in association with the best brain.
Yes. So a very key part of this entire movement is how much Nigeria has become global now. Do you think, because previously we had the biggest labels here, we We had EMI, we had Philips, we had everyone here, and then the left. Right now, Nigeria is exploding now. What role do you think Fuji would play in this explosion?
A local dialect that full of various meaning, serious meaning, meaning that be so helpful that will not let our language go in extinction. Because today you find it very hard when you call a 15-year-old young man or young lady to pronounce something in the Yoruba dialect like Bawoni. Bawoni. Who say Bawoni is even funkified by its calling, by me. But you'll be surprised when someone you expect to say Bawoni nicely will be saying Bawoni like
Baoni.
you can imagine. We don't want it to be like that. We want it to be on a serious, pronunciation that will not make that language go in extinction. Then, once we place it rightly in the music, so that a whole lot of them will listen very seriously, and you can only pass this message across through that genre called Fuji, because the backbone of Fuji is the lyrics itself that lays with various of the richness of our language, our dialect.
All of this has happened. A lot more will happen. What do you think this project, when this project is out, what do you think it would do for the genre going forward in the future?
Number one, you want to place it at the dance hall? You want to place it as such a very listenable music that you can listen to anytime, morning, afternoon, night, midnight. You want to listen to it at any point in time. When you're partying, when you do anything, you want it mellow, you want it slow, you find it, and then you see it making sense to you the way of very many other music of the world. We give glory to Almighty God. A whole lot of our young and new, vibrant entertainer, what they do now is they let the inflow of foreign music stops in our corridor. Now we have very many of our players today that they are local breed, and they are going very seriously. Look at the pace they're going seriously international. Then you know African music has a lot of potential, and the West find it very, very easy in the past to tap into. Now we are making our thing, and we are hitting the international market, and the market is readily waiting for us.
Okay. International waiting for us.
Oh,
so
yes.
Would you, at this point, this is a solo project in terms of you didn't collaborate with any other artist. Would you be looking to make remixes in the future, collaborate with more artists on this project, or taking Fuji forward?
I try in my little way to bring in some collaborations, and that collaboration is to introduce and open the face of those one I collaborated with, in the open. Like I said, for other generation to understand what you're saying, you got to energize it with the current situation, and that's exactly what you'll be listening in that project, Fuji, the sound. It's called Extended Play EP. So you find it very, very scintillating.
How many songs?
We'll try as much as possible to do first track now. We're doing 5 tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5.
Okay. There's always been this conversation about new age artists taking from existing genres and not giving credit. For example, most of what we do in Nigeria today as contemporary music has a lot of Fuji in it, but there's not been enough credit. Why do you think so?
Well, individuals should understand, do not take what rightly belongs to someone away from someone. You want to be pleased with yourself. You want your God to be pleased with you. It doesn't take you anything. Just give credit. Credit in form of appreciation, in form of recognition, in form of thanks. it's more than important. You don't just pick songs like something you pick by the roadside. It's very, very important you give credit. But when you don't do that, Yoruba says, "Uda bi olosha to konileru." It's like you stole something and you don't feel you did something wrong.
Any guilt, no remorse.
No remorse.
Okay, cool. So, a very key part of this project is the live performances, because this is a new style. How would you recreate this live?
Number one, it's not a new style. It's the normal Fuji style. We are bringing into another step. That's just it. We're bringing it to another step so that in the past, you see the very danceable one of the Fuji music. You see it being worked on by DJs to want to bring into the dancing arena at the club, and to fit into the new generation, to what they like, to kind of a thing they will appreciate to listen to. Now we want to produce that music along that line, so that there won't be much need to feel like it is listenable but it's not danceable. So you dance it, you listen, and you feel all the feels that is expected. You feel.
Okay. So this has happened. In the end, what's your projection for this? When people listen to this, what would you want them to think?
What I want them to think is, now we're bringing this music to their doorstep, to everybody's doorstep. So that's just it. So there won't be any reason for anybody to complain again. And I do know this will be a big door opening for a whole lot of people in that genre of music, Fuji, to the new direction we're creating now. And a reason to say this is the terminal point of what I'm doing. You keep on doing it. If you look at Commander Ebenezer Obey, still playing music at over 70. King Sunny Ade just celebrated his 70th birthday. He's still very kicking. When you see him on stage, the statesmancraft you do expect of a young folks is what you see of them doing. There's still very much energy in them. So I'm not up to them in age. And if they can be doing that in that age, definitely I have a long way to go. And there's no reason to say otherwise than doing it well. So we want to use that opportunity to teleguide the younger ones, to teleguide them, to give them that ray of hope that this I'm into it for good, for a very longer time to come. So if you so plan it the way those before us, and even myself that happens to be immediate to them, does it.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to Fuji the sound.
Oh yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Long way to go, and there's no reason to say otherwise than doing it well. So we want to use that opportunity to teleguide the younger ones, to teleguide them, to give them that ray of hope that this I'm into it for good, for a very longer time to come. So if you so plan it the way those before us, and even myself that happens to be immediate to them, does it.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to Fuji the sound.
Oh yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeline Obamishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.